You come here to meet European politicians, to
Yes.
ask for their support.
Yes.
Is it fair to say that what you really need is weapons and a clear lifting of the arms embargo?
Yes, that is really what we need. In addition to that, we need humanitarian aid for the people inside Syria who are suffering. There is no food, there is no medicine, and it is important to have support, humanitarian support, food and medicine for the people and for the fighters also. And it is very important for us in the Free Syrian Army to be supported with weapons and ammunition, and that's why I'm here to speak today in the Parliament, in the European Parliament. I will ask to lift the embargo against Syrian, because we are in the Free Syrian Army those who are affected really from this embargo. The regime is supported from Russia and Iran, and the regime is getting every week or every 10 days a large number of or a large amount of ammunition and weapons, more than 1,200 tons.
Do you have any hope of winning the war as long as the arms embargo remains in place?
Yes, we are sure that we will at the end win the war, but it will be for a long time. We have to fight for a long time. We are fighting now since 2 years, and when we have only these kinds of tools to fight against Bashar, maybe we have to fight another 2 years or 3 years. There will be more killing, more destruction. Our main goal is to stop killing as soon as possible, and that's why we need new tools and new weapons and ammunition. But we need that not to fight, only to fight. We don't like fighting. We need it to stop killing, to stop the regime.
The United Nations has said today it's now registered 1 million refugees outside Syria.
Yes.
Given the level of suffering, is it not worth trying to find some kind of political solution with the regime, even with Bashar al-Assad?
Yes, it is very important, and we appreciate now to find a political solution. I don't, and my colleagues and my fighters, we don't like to fight and to lose more martyrs and more people in our country. But Bashar is still feel that he is powerful, and he can fight and he can continue killing and destroying the country, because he has weapons. He has very heavy weapons. He is supported from the Russians. Maybe the United Nations and our friend in the Western country have to press the Russian to stop providing Bashar with weapons and ammunition, to stop Iran from supporting the regime with money, ammunition, weapons, and all kinds of support. It is very important that Bashar understand and feel at some point that the international community is against him really and effectively in action, not only in speaking.
One of the problems for those who are cautious about lifting the arms embargo is they say they don't know where those weapons are going to end up.
Yes.
Who are they going to end up with?
Yes.
You're the commander of the Free Syria Army. How many people do you really represent? Because there are a lot of armed groups out there.
I represent about 300,000 fighters in Syria. We in the Free Syrian Army are now well organized. We have a structure, and I can show you the structure of the Free Syrian Army. We fight to defend our country. There are a lot of Iranians and a lot of Hezbollah fighters who are fighting to support the regime. They come from outside the country to fight with the regime. In the Free Syrian Army, we are looking for free Syrian, for democratic Syrian, for freedom of speech for all people. All Syrian peoples will have the same right and the same duties. We guarantee for everyone to have his free religion, to have the ability to speak about everything, about the president, about the parliament, about the government, and that is now in Syria not allowed. It is very important for our Western friends to understand this very important point. The Free Syrian Army is very well organized. It has a structure. All the brigades and battalions who are working under our command obey the orders which we give. They are working as we like, and extremist group like what is so-called Jabhat al-Nusra and Al-Qaeda are not working under our command. And
I wanted to ask you, what is your relationship with
there is no,
al-Nusra?
There is
because
really,
they've been designated a terrorist organization by the Americans.
Yes, there is really no relationship to Jabhat al-Nusra, no relationship to Al-Qaeda. There are fighters from Jabhat al-Nusra who are fighting against Bashar, but we don't support them with ammunition and with weapons. They have their own support, and we really don't know where from. And
but they also don't talk as you do about freedom for everyone. And that's the problem for outsiders. How powerful are these groups?
These groups are not so powerful. And I think the media in the Western countries, because they speak a lot about Jabhat al-Nusra, and they make Jabhat al-Nusra a big power in the media, but in the reality they are less than 2% of all fighters in Syria. That is the main issue in our story with these groups which called jihadist or extremist. Al-Qaeda has no chance and no role in the future of Syria, and Jabhat al-Nusra too. We know that 80% of all Jabhat al-Nusra fighters are from Syria, and only 20% are from outside. Only 20%. Those who are from Syria, we are sure that we will attract them. We can discuss with them. They are our sons and brothers. They will respect the law in the country after falling the regime. But those who are coming from outside, we will ask them to go. We don't need them now. We don't need them to fight with us. We don't need fighters. We have a large number of fighters. We don't need fighters.
A few days ago, the opposition leader Muaz al-Khatib visited opposition-controlled areas inside Syria.
Yes.
Can you see a situation soon where perhaps you set up some kind of de facto rebel capital inside Syria? Is that a plan?
Yes, that is in our plan, and we are concentrating our military operation now in the northern and eastern fronts. We hope to liberate these fronts and to have, or to give the national coalition the opportunity to build a government in this area. We hope that.
One day the war will end.
Yes.
Can Syria remain a united country? Are you convinced of that?
Yes, we are sure. We are sure that Syria will remain a united country. There will no chance for to divide the country. All Syrians respect Syria as a united country. No doubt.
No doubt at all?
No doubt at all.
Just let me take you back to the issue of the arms embargo and outside support for your rebellion. Is there a growing sense of bitterness that the outside world is not doing enough to help?
Yes. The people, the civilian people, are suffering now since 2 years. They don't have food, they don't have medicine, they are homeless now. As we told, there are more than 1 million refugees outside Syria, in Jordan, in Turkey and in Lebanon. And inside the country there are more than 5 million people who are homeless now. These people are very angry. They say, why not the Western country help us? And when they send us some kind of humanitarian aid, they send it via the regime. We suggest to send the support to the liberated area, to the civilian citizens in those areas, not to send it via the regime. The regime steal 70 to 80% of the support and send the 20% to the liberated areas. We ask you to support us with humanitarian aid, with medical aid, and with weapons and ammunition.